Okay, so now I'm going to assume that this is all done. It's got everything I want. Obviously, this is not all done. You're going to want to do more than this. You're going to want to actually type some stuff, and you're going to want to do all the plots that you need to do. And you're going to want to write a conclusion. And you're probably going to want to put some notes at the end where you're going to say things like, I used a count variable, and I know that this is that OLS regression is not the correct method uh, for this, comma, but this is just a demonstration. Or if you use time series or any of the other things that we talked about that maybe are not quite right, you're going to want to maybe put a note like that. And then you come down here and do works cited, which at a minimum is going to want to reference for your data set and reference for anything you mentioned in your writing. Any previous class, textbook, journal article you read, whatever. If you mentioned it, it needs to go here. You don't necessarily have to have mentioned anything, but if you did, you should cite it. So you get all that stuff done. You click render, and render works and gives you this nice little thing, and you hit publish. Publish is going to come up with three options. You can ignore these. They're not something you're going to want to mess with. This is RPubs. It's a free service from the people who make Posit or RStudio, which is what we're using here for sharing documents on the web. It's where a lot of my lecture slideshows are. So you hit RPubs, hit publish, and it will bring you over here. If you have not yet created an account, it will ask you to create one. It's probably a good idea to come to rpubs.com and create your account first so that you can just log in. Because then if you just log in, all you have to do is sign in, and then you can give the document a name. You can write a description. And come down here, and you have to give it a name. So you've got to give it what they call a slug. And the slug is just part of the website address. I've never tried not giving it one, but I think the best thing to do is to give it one. And so I'm going to give it the slug project demo 2026. And then what happens is you hit continue, and so that slug ends up being this part of the this becomes the website name. So you'll take this whole thing, copy it. That's what you're going to give me to turn in to show me this is where my project is. Okay, and I'll be able to come out and see your project. The other possibility is you can push to GitHub. And if you have GitHub set up, if you introduced yourself properly to GitHub, this is going to be a matter of coming over here to Git and selecting commit. And you may have to do this kind of thing because somehow my little box got messed up. Hopefully the first time you try this, you won't have this problem. But you need to select all of these things. And you have to select all of them that you want to push out there. And then you have to write a commit message. And so I'm going to make the commit message project demo first push or first commit. Um, your first commit, typically, you want to name first commit. But the commit message is for your reference. It's so if you go back and change things, you know what you did. Because this is version control also. You can actually roll back if you make a mistake. Um, Hopefully you don't have to do that because that's not super easy, but it's definitely easier than redoing everything. So once you commit, all that does, that saves that to your computer. And you'll have a message like this that says your branch is ahead of origin main by one commit. So then you press push and it will do its thing. And because that file with the picture in it's going to be a little bit big, so it may take it a little longer to push than it took to download. But now it tells you it's made the push. So then you can close this, and now if we come back out here to this demo, so this is what it looked like before, right? Now if I refresh it, all of that stuff I just did is out here. And that includes this, which means, so there are a number of things that I can do as your professor. I can come in and take this and I can clone your work to my own RStudio as long as it's a public repository. I can clone it and then I can actually run your code and make sure it runs properly. But I can also come out here and here's your HTML file that you produced. And it looks like this. It doesn't actually look like a web page. It looks like kind of junk. But I can download it to my computer. And then once I've downloaded it, I can click on your file, maybe, and it will open up, and there it all is. So that's not the version that I already had. That is actually the version I just downloaded from GitHub. So that's and you can share this with anybody, and they can see exactly how your code is, how you set all this up. When you're done, you might want to come back. You can come back if you want to and delete the lab files because they may be kind of messy. And hopefully the code you want to produce, put your best foot forward and have some nice code. And so you'll want to get rid of all that old stuff and just produce the project maybe. But it's out there. If you don't have GitHub set up with your personal authorization token, you will have to do that. And I will send you a link for information on that. But I can't show you how to do it because mine's already set up. And if I go in messing with it, I may mess it up. And I can't do that. So I can give you the reference to be able to go do it, but you will have to follow the instructions. There are lots of people who I think have made videos of that, though. Overall, that's it. That's all you need to do for this project, other than just the little bit of grunt work of going into those lab files and taking the stuff and moving it into that QMD file in code chunks, and setting it all up, rendering it, and then publishing it and pushing it to GitHub.